I'm your host, Sierra Spratt. Joined again with me is Leighton Berry, Lindsay Rosser-Suffner, Luke Bougie Branquino, and Anita Ellis joins at the desk. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
You have definitely been killing it here in 2025, I would have to say so far. Rico and Axe, your horsepower is unbelievable.
Thank you. I'm having the time of my life, obviously. Yeah, I'm so proud of my horses and proud to be here tonight. So
now, walk us through a little bit about Axe and Rico. We know that you definitely you rode both of them at Calgary, actually.
Yes.
The backup, which one was the backup that you rode and then broke the arena record?
Well, that's the funny thing is everyone who knows Rico, they didn't think he was a backup horse, so they were kind of laughing at home. But he needs a little bit more work in the arena than Axe. Axe he's older, he can run in there anytime, and I just felt like the extra time, because we got morning practice every day, and I felt like that was beneficial for Rico. That's why I kind of held him off until the last so I could get him in there.
Well, we did pick Axe for the Las Tunas horsepower to watch, and Lindsay's actually going to go over your amazing run you had in round number 1.
Thank you.
Yeah, so when we look at this run, this is your great horse, RV2- to Vegas, and when we see you make a flawless lines to your barrels, you're a quiet, beautiful rider, and you can see your straight points right to where your pockets are. And when we come around this second barrel, Axe did an amazing job of a little step out right there so he didn't drag his hip and knock that barrel down, and then dug down deep right here around that third barrel to get home in the fastest time that he could, almost a tenth of a second that you beat the rest of the field with this run right here.
Anita, what did you think of that run? Did the coach there, she hit it pretty good, nail on the head?
Yeah, that's exactly what was going on into that second. I was like, oh, I'm a little close, so I kind of cued him to come out, and he did for me. And then same thing with that third. He was coming in tight there, so I kind of cued him a little to come, step out just a little, and he listened. So, that's always the nice thing, if he's going to listen.
Well, you've held your spot here all through the Caldwell Night Rodeo, still coming in the very top cowgirl for the short go, but coming off of Calgary, surely that's got you, boost of confidence here for these runs.
Oh, yeah. Every run I have to take it one run at a time. But, coming off of Caldwell, you kind of have that confidence about you, or my first run in Caldwell, I guess. But it's one run at a time. You still have to keep that focus and keep your mind right for one day at a time here.
Yeah, Miss Anita, I would like to ask you, just out of personal curiosity, I'm sure everybody would like to know, what lit the fire under you to come back out of your hiatus and start rodeoing again?
It's always just been a dream of mine to get to the NFR, but I wanted to have my own horses there, and so I started training. Axe was my first horse I ever trained. I ran him as a 4-year-old in 2020, and it was always in the back of my mind, I'm going to get to the NFR, but I had to have multiple horses that I'm running, and Axe won so much money his futurity year that I was able to buy more horses and keep training, and now I have mares of my own, and it's just worked out really well. Rico won a whole bunch of money his futurity year last year. He won the Royal Crown, and I came home with $150,000 from one race, and so that's pretty much funded my year to stay on the road. And my family needed me at home this year, so the last run I made was in February in Tucson. I ended up winning the championship round, and then I had to take about 3 months off, and so I just was kind of getting anxious because I feel like my horses were ready, but was needed at home, so I hit the road in May, and I've just not been looking back ever since.
That's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Now, Anita, we kind of mentioned it briefly earlier, I did, that you had a 27-year gap there in the barrel racing. Tell us a little bit about that background.
Well, I was in a car accident when I was 17, and I was trying to ride that whole time, and it was tough. I did high school rodeo and just felt terrible after every time I would be on my horse. And so then, I had my family and stuff and decided I would wait and try to get my back better. And then I fell and ended up breaking a vertebrae and my tailbone and everything in my back. So then it took me a while, and I finally got a spinal fusion about 9 years ago, and 2 years after that I started training Axe. So I'm so glad that I was able to come back and do what I love. So thankful every day for that.
We talk a lot about horse and rider relationships. I know Axe means so much to you. Tell us a little bit about how you got Axe, and then when you went to training him.
Well, he was the most amazing gift for my parents. I'm very thankful. They had the mare that he's out of, and she won a lot of money, and she was phenomenal, and so they offered me the choice between 2 horses, and Axe was a yearling and the other one was 2. And so I just was like, I need a little bit more time to heal. I'm going to take the yearling, and I'm so glad I chose him. He's my baby. I can't ever part with him.
He's very, very special, that's for sure.
Yes, he is.
Well, I got to talk about Calgary again because I got to watch every run and how phenomenal that was. But it's a seeding process to get in for the girls in the top. You went actually through the qualifier to get through there. And how tough was that to get to that position and then go ahead and win the championship?
It was tough. It was a mental challenge for sure. And there's a qualifier that's closer to my house in Salina, Utah. But I wasn't able to get there because I qualified for the American. So I was in Texas, and so I came home and I was kind of discouraged from the American, and so I just was like, I just gotta go for it. And my husband found the qualifier. He happened to be looking online at other stuff, and he saw the qualifier in Calgary. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I want to drive 10 hours, And then I'm like, I have to just give myself a chance, or the opportunity will never be there. And there were hundreds of women there that were awesome, and so it was a little intimidating, but I had both of my horses, and they were both running so well. So I was super excited to go, but nervous at the same time. It was a gamble, I guess. But yeah, getting through the qualifier was a lot too, And then when I walked after the qualifier and I knew I was getting there to Calgary, I walked in the stadium because it wasn't the same. It was in the Nutrien building where we had the qualifier. I walked into the stadium and I was like, this is Axe's arena right here. I can see myself there. So that being in Pot A was awesome. Just the whole thing was just so amazing. I'm so thankful I got to be there.
I love how she had a moment of, do I want to drive 10 hours?
Yeah,
but now here you are.
Yeah.
10 hours has got to be a walk in the park at this point.
For a barrel racer, 10 hours is nothing. We'll just say, oh, it's only 10 hours now,
Well, you had mentioned some great girls. We've got some amazing ladies up here that are going to be chasing you in the short go tonight. We're going to take a look at that leaderboard right now. Anita, you're out here, you're rodeoing with these girls. What horsepower do you see right here that's standing out to you, besides yours, of course?
All of them. Every one of those ladies. Trisha Aldridge is her stud. He's awesome. Every one of those women could totally take this. Cassie Mowry, obviously, everybody on there. I've gotten to know Caitlin Scott really well. It's just so fun because that's the other thing is I've gotten to know everyone so well. Everybody has the most amazing horses. So yeah, it's good competition for tonight. It'll be fun.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We cannot wait to watch you tonight. The best of luck to you and Axe. Is that who you're riding?
Yep, I'm running Axe.
Best of luck to you and Axe.